On today's episode of Amanda and Felix Eats, we'll be taking you guys along with us to an exclusive tour behind the scenes of a local factory.
You guys don't want to miss it because we are getting the sneak peeks just for you guys. We're taking you guys along.
In a chocolate factory, it's good to get chocolated out.
And we're going to be visiting a really, really cute cafe. We can't wait to show you guys.
So let's get going.
Let's go.
What's going on, Foodie Ohana, and welcome back to the channel. For today's episode, we've got a very special one for you guys.
We are going to a very exclusive behind the scenes factory tour that you guys don't want to miss, definitely. But first, we are here on our way to Kailua because that's where the factory is. And also we're gonna be checking out a cafe that we've been really wanting to take you guys with us. It's gonna be our first time and we have been wanting to check them out.
So we're gonna kickstart the day off right.
And guys, can I just mention, look at this view. You see that? Ah, that is Kailua, you guys. We are at the lookout point right off the Pali Highway. Anyways, let's get going. We're almost there.
Let's go. So we just parked, street parking.
Bring your quarters, you guys. You're gonna need it.
Yeah.
Around here in Kailua, it's a lot of street parking, a lot of coin parking. They don't take the credit card yet. They didn't update the parking meters.
Yeah, we got the outdated meters. But anyway, it is about a block this way, so we're heading there now. We only had a little sip of coffee this morning, so we are in need, dire need of that caffeine fix.
Well, I'm planning on getting a tea.
Oh, yeah, Amanda's gonna get a tea because she's caffeine sensitive. But anyway, we'll see you guys when we get there. And if this place looks familiar, guys, it's because we did Moke's Cafe or Moke's Bed and Breakfast right down the street. So this is gonna be the same area. And it looks like we're here already. We are here at Cafe Kopi. I believe it's pronounced Kopi.
Yay, let's go. Guys, there's a back door also. They have water station. Ooh, see? More seating on the back. Ooh. Oh, pretty. Oh, also, they give you a buzzer so you can get your food and your drinks. And yeah. Yee, we got our focaccia egg sandwich. It looks beautiful.
All right, guys. So everything looks amazing so far. We are here today at Cafe Kopi. I guess it's a Singaporean cafe because they do have
Laksa.
they have this coffee, which is a Kopi Peng, or Singaporean coffee, iced coffee. Very interesting. Haven't had Singaporean coffee before. It looks like your typical like Thai coffee though, but we shall see.
I got a matcha latte because, as you guys know, I already had coffee. So, cheers.
All right. It's a lot milkier than your Thai coffee. It has a very cream taste to it.
A queen.
Cream taste to it.
Wait, can I try?
Oh, yeah, of course.
My matcha is on the lighter side. I did get it with almond milk and less sweet. So it's not super sweet.
Oh, this just tastes like straight up matcha and almond milk.
This tastes like a creamy Thai coffee or Vietnamese coffee.
We apologize if the camera shaking because the table we're on is a little
Wobbly.
wobbly. Had a little too much to drink last night, this table, I mean.
Okay.
So we did get some pastries and some savory dishes to try out for you guys. Starting the day off light, you know. I saw they have focaccia bread on the menu and I was excited. So it looks like they're mostly known for their croissant pastry dishes and their focaccia bread. Two main staples on the menu.
So I got a ham and cheese croissant, a little bit warmed up for me. And you got a focaccia.
I got an egg sandwich on focaccia bread and I added bacon because you know when there's an upgrade option, you go for it, Foodie Ohana. Don't regret yourself later.
Oh, it's so light.
For me, it's the same thing as the meat hanging out. I love when my eggs are hanging out too.
Cheers. Cheers, guys. Very light and fluffy.
Mine is the opposite. It's more dense, but full of flavor. I love the rosemary and the focaccia bread. And I love that there's like that rosemary oil drippings. The egg is light, fluffy. I did add bacon for some of that saltiness. Love the cheddar cheese on here. I'm digging the sandwich so far.
This one is the ham and cheese is very light. You get more of the croissant, which I personally am not mad about. But this is a very nice way to start off today. We have not had anything to eat yet. We are a little bit still full from last night though. So make sure you guys check out our previous video.
Shall we switch?
That rosemary is
That's more.
strong. I love it though.
Definitely prefer the egg sandwich over this. This does though have a very nostalgic feeling for me because it reminds me of back in the day growing up. My family and I would get the whole box of croissants from Costco and we'd just buy ham and stuff it in. And that's like my sandwich. This one, yeah, I wish there was a little more ham because the edges, there's no meat or anything.
But the croissant is very good, I will say.
The croissant's fluffy, flaky.
It is pastry time. We got a mac nut. Whoa, 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 almost fell off.
Whoa, whoa.
We did get a mac nut cream puff. Ooh, oh, it is light. I love that they use mac nut too. I've never had a mac nut cream puff. Cheers.
Is it worthy?
Oh my goodness, guys. There is even a mac nut cream on the inside, like a thicker custard along with the whipped cream. It is so fluffy. It is really stuffed. And also the shell is very, very light.
Very generous with the filling. I really like this. Very light, creamy, nutty. Okay, guys, we're gonna wrap up breakfast and we'll see you guys when we get to the factory. Don't go anywhere now.
Also guys, there are some things I forgot to mention about Cafe Kopi. They are known for their Singaporean laksa as well. I've seen a lot of people in there getting it and I've heard it's really good and very authentic. And also guys, it is a pet-friendly establishment. So if you guys do want to bring your dog. Anyway, try not to get run over. Let's go.
So guys, first and foremost, we are here at Manoa Chocolate Factory.
We do want to stress again that we are going to be on a very exclusive Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory tour at Manoa Chocolate Factory. So
Hopefully it's magical.
I'm sure it will be. And they do offer
Private tours for the public. It isn't gonna be as exclusive and touring of the actual factory itself, like the one we're featuring today, but you will be able to try different types of chocolate.
Like always, we leave the links down in the description below so you guys can check it out. And yeah, we're gonna learn a lot more about this awesome chocolate factory and also about Hawaii's chocolate production, because I had no idea we have chocolate here.
I did not know either. Locally grown coconuts. But
Cacao.
oh, cacao nuts. I
Yes.
was gonna say coconuts. Yeah, there's one right there. But anyway, guys, we're gonna meet a special guest today, a chocolate sommelier. He knows everything about chocolate. We'll introduce him to you guys. So let's get going.
Let's go. Here we are in the Manoa Chocolate. This is the more public area. Like they have the gifts and the chocolate, like the real estate? No,
Gift shop.
retail. The retail side of the chocolate factory. And if you can see, when you like walk around, you can kind of see like the factory and things going on. And they do have some kind of like tasting here, as we heard a little bit about when we first walked in. We're waiting for our exclusive tour.
Secondly, to kind of explore around. This place is pretty cool, actually.
Okay guys, so we're here at Manoa Chocolate, as we mentioned before, and we're here with Dylan. He does also have his own YouTube channel. We'll link it down below. It's Craft Chocolate TV
You got it.
on YouTube. And yeah, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, really happy you guys are here. So what we're gonna do today is we're going to learn about how chocolate grows, what our industry in Hawaii looks like, and then we're gonna take a tour of our factory.
And you guys are a locally owned factory, right?
Yep. Me.
Oh, yay!
Yeah.
We're here exclusively with the owner.
I started this about 12 years ago. I was at the University of Hawaii. I found myself in this lab at UH because my friend was studying the plant. And so he was studying genetics and how cacao grew. And so a lot on the agriculture side. And I was fascinated by this. Big piles of colorful fruit pods and extracting the wet seed for fermentation. And so that's what we're about to cover now. So why don't we come over here? Cacao starts as a really tiny flower that's, you know, my pinky fingernail's probably bigger than that flower.
Wow.
And it's really pretty, kind of orchid looking. And there's an endemic midge here. And a midge is like a really, really small fruit fly. Can't even see it. And that's the pollinator for cacao. And so it'll fly from flower to flower or tree to tree, pollinating that flower. And then over the course of 5 or 6 months, it turns into what we'd call a little chirelle. So this is a tiny little pod. You can see the flower here and these tiny little pods. And then it expands to the point where it can be as big as an American football. When it's ripe, you would crack it open and you'd have all these wet seeds. Like we call them wet seed. It's actually a seed with a pulp around it. And it's very sweet. And so think of lychee here. Or soursop. And so we would then extract all of that and then we'd put it into a wooden box and it's going to be fermented for about a week. And this is a really interesting process because it becomes way more palatable and tastes like chocolate, starts to at least, if this goes well. So the first part of it, there's a lot of wild yeasts that eat the sugars, eat the fruit that's around the cacao seed. After a few days, you have a lot of alcohol. Then that gets eaten by bacteria that convert it into vinegar. And so after a week of this, we would then have it transferred onto drying racks. Pretty simple. You have to constantly monitor it, making sure it dries properly, but this is another week or so. And then we would receive it at the chocolate factory. What's important to understand, if this doesn't happen well, we cannot make good chocolate. It's all about the farming side for quality of beans. Now we can screw it up, we can burn it, or under roast it, and it's gonna taste funny. But as long as we get good beans, we're very likely to get very good chocolate. And so in Hawaii, what I like to say is we're trying to grow the best chocolate in the world because we can't compete with Hershey's and Mars and Nestle and Cadbury. We're trying to be more like craft beer or a premium wine. Hawaii now has a few hundred acres growing if you were to combine everybody.
That's a lot.
Yeah, well, it's
huge.
starting to be, but we already consume more than what those farms can give us.
Really? Wow.
It takes a lot of land in order to get metric tons of cacao. We buy beans from not just Hawaii. There isn't enough. But it's also fun to buy from other places because the flavors are different. This is a lot like wine. Genetics influence flavor and so does terroir, so does where it grows. And so you can see the map here. Cacao likes to grow within about 20 degrees north and south of the equator. The majority is coming from about 10 degrees north and south of the equator, mostly the Ivory Coast and Ghana. About 70% of the world's supply. It's a lot of cacao coming out of there. And so these bags here happen to be from Uganda, and this is from Ecuador.
And you said these are all fair trade or?
Oh God, it's way beyond that. This is more direct trade, but we pay so much higher than what fair trade prices are because we're buying the very best that we can possibly get.
Because it's coming directly, the money is going directly to the farm versus in the
Manoa
middleman.
Chocolate paid that farmer. And in a lot of cases, like our friends in the Dominican Republic, we buy from Zorzal Cacao. That's a bird sanctuary and forest reserve. When we buy from them, we know we're protecting this 1,000 acres in the Dominican Republic. It's kind of neat.
That's really cool,
like a cloud forest. Same with Semiliki Forest in Uganda. Gorillas and stuff. I haven't been there yet, but that's on my list. I want to go soon.
Wow.
And then Ecuador, this is reclaimed cattle pasture.
But I like that you guys are just directly handling it with them.
Yeah, we prefer it that way. There's a trust, and I feel like a lot of businesses need to work that way. So we're on one end of it where we're manufacturing it, but we're also retailing it. And so one of the things that we do with the smaller farmers, especially here, is we'll split the profits, the retail profits with the farmer. So they'll give us their beans, and instead of getting, say, $11 a pound for them, they're going to get closer to 30. So that's one way we can try and collaborate more. So this is, they all come in big burlap sacks, and it's about 68 kilos, so that's 150 pounds.
Wow.
And yeah, brutal.
How do you carry
that? So heavy. 2 people.
That explains those arms.
Yeah, there we go. That's why.
Is this the bean that we're gonna see? Like the raw?
Yeah, so you're gonna see it as a chocolate maker would first receive it.
Yay!
So let's go ahead and...
That's cool. I've never seen anything like that, I think.
Aroma though, as soon as you open the bag.
Oh my goodness.
Man.
It's like
Yeah,
straight vinegar
you
with
can
a
see-
hint of chocolate.
Totally, that's exactly what it's like. So you can see they got this kind of reddish color. They're all consistent in size. There's not a lot stuck together. There's not a lot of flats. This is really what we want to receive. Whoa. It makes our whole process better, and this is the whole trust part of the relationship with those guys.
Wow, it's really strong.
Yeah, you can actually eat these right now, right?
Yeah, we're gonna do that. Wow. So you can see I just cracked it open, and then these are called the nibs inside. Nibs are what we actually make chocolate with. And so as the chocolate maker, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna eat this and decide, let's say a sample showed up. I would eat this, I'd analyze them like what we just did and decide if we wanna buy it. And then if we buy it, how much, and then how to do a roast profile. So the flavors in here are telling me what I want the end chocolate to taste like. This is how every chocolate factory in the world would receive, if they start with beans, if they're an actual bean to bar chocolate factory, they would start with these guys. So here, go ahead, hold your hand out. So you can see all the little nibs there. Go ahead and eat a couple of them.
I love cacao nibs as well.
And so this is pre-roasting, so keep that in mind. It's not gonna taste that chocolatey, it's gonna have more moisture in it.
So cacao nibs, like the typical ones like these, are after the roasting.
Yes. After roasting and a process called winnowing, we're about to learn about.
So this is like the raw form. This is like a raw coffee bean, but a cacao bean.
That's right. And it's not what most people would ever experience.
Yeah, it kind of has like a bitter note to it.
Definitely. This is a seed. It is not sweet. It is not milky.
It's kind of vinegary.
Yeah, you can see why.
It's fermented, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to, I mean, obviously through the camera you can't explain it, but when you open that bag up, it hits you, it almost burns your nose. What I'm looking for when I eat this is, how bitter is it? How astringent is it? What other notes are in there? Is it floral? Does it have spice notes? What kind of fruity flavors might be in there? Is it like a nutty banana? So that's kind of what I'd be looking for to determine a roast. So why don't we walk in here now, here.
Wow, so your palate must be really defined.
It's been developed over 12 years now for this, yeah. We got a coffee roaster here. Well, 24 kilo coffee roaster, we put 30 kilos of cacao in. It would go up there and it would drop inside the drum, and this works on conduction and convection. So we got heat and airflow. And as everything's spinning around in there, we can control the temperature with the propane underneath, heating up the round drum, and we can also taste toward the end. And so just some parameters, we're roasting for about 30 minutes at about 250 degrees. Toward the end of the roast, we taste it. You can taste it here. And then we would be able to open this and everything spills out and cools here. And we would move on to the next step. And so we would take these seeds, and they still look the same, except a little more gray on the outside because it just got roasted. And they would go up into this hopper, vibrate, and go through a cracking device, and then get separated on a perforated grid, right? So the big nibs and the big shells are up here, the small nibs and the small shells are down here, and then they enter 3 different chambers. Whatever is light has fans that are blowing through the chambers will end up in these bags that will be hanging down to the floor. Whatever's heavy slides right out the front. So these are nibs. So this is somewhere around 80 kilos of nibs. Let's go ahead and try the same one though. I want you to try the, that was an Ecuador one that we tried. So we're entering the back of the factory now.
Yeah, it smells different.
I smell banana, is that just me?
That's actually a note that we often taste in some of this. Here, we'll just go ahead and hold your hand out there.
So this is the same
Same one you just tried raw, now it's roasted. And these are so good for you. They're full of iron and magnesium, and antioxidants are through the roof.
Wow.
But now it's starting to taste more chocolatey.
Yeah, it's less bitter and less sour.
It's more nutty and almost, I taste
nutty.
the banana.
Totally.
Very interesting.
You know what's, we tried a cold brew coffee, except using the nibs.
Does it work?
What we tasted after was fascinating. It tasted like a ripe banana. Couldn't believe it.
Really?
That's all it tasted like, was a ripe banana. It didn't even taste like chocolate. Then we have to pre-refine it. And pre-refining uses these stone steamroller types of stones that are right next to each other, and we can control the spacing, right? So the nibs are gonna go through here and start to get smashed. And when that happens, it goes through 2 sets of them, it comes out as a paste. Called cocoa paste. And we have to do that because we need the fat to begin to be exposed. That nib is about half cocoa butter and half cocoa solids. We're gonna mix those 2 things together, kind of like peanuts turning into peanut butter. So we're just smashing up a seed.
I think like for me, I'm not really familiar with the chocolate, so I keep thinking about coffee and it's pretty similar.
Oh, the first parts of this are so similar. But now we have so many extra steps. Whereas they're done.
Ooh, chocolate. Guys, you can just smell the chocolate. It smells like straight chocolate in here.
Yeah, it's hot in here, huh?
Yeah, it smells really good.
Yes, so there's a lot of chocolate in different tanks, but these are our ball mills. I just emptied both of them. Now, if you look inside, you can see there's lots of metal balls. 100,000 metal balls. And they're extremely hard because, well, this is what's refining the chocolate now. So those nibs that have been smashed into a paste get loaded into the ball mill. They start working their way through and all these balls are smashing together. There's a shaft with arms that is agitating them. And as it works its way through, it's getting smaller and smaller and hotter, and it starts to flow more. And then it gets pumped up, over, and through all the balls again. And so very quickly, we're evenly refining the nibs to the point where it starts to flow almost like water because all of the cocoa butter in it is now accessible.
Like it's liquefied kind of thing?
Liquefied. No water though. We can't have any water in our chocolate.
It's like the oil, right? That's
It's
making
all
it.
oil. 55% of the seed is oil.
I didn't even know
And
that.
it's mixing with the other half of it, which is primarily cocoa powder. And then we add sugar. Those are all working their way through all of the balls, fracturing the sugar crystals to the point where they're so small you can't taste grittiness. So we're going for below 20 microns. That gives us an even, smooth taste and texture. The distribution curve of the microns, the little tiny particles, are very close together. So it has a nicer texture as well. We've also burned off a lot of the acetic acid, the vinegar from that bag that you were smelling. We can blow it out with a fan. So in about 3 hours, we get really nice textured chocolate. Now it tastes like chocolate for the first time. This is all Hawaiian milk chocolate in here. It's about 500 kilos. So come take a look.
Ooh.
So that's 4-ish ball mills from over there have now been transferred into here. And this is all cacao that came from Mililani or came from Kekua.
Oh, so it's 100% Hawaiian cacao.
It is.
Chocolate.
Then it gets transferred into here in this tank. We would then pump it through the wall and feed our molding line. And then we come in here and we need it super cold. That way humidity needs to be low, temperature needs to be low, and then this next part of the process is called tempering. So we pump it through the wall. We feed a tempering machine kind of like this, right behind here. And what it's doing is structuring cocoa butter into a grid. It'll then follow through these pipes and feed this here. This is an automated molding line. What happens is it pushes our molds under and warms them up. It'll then dispense through here. There's a depositing head that slides in there. It'll dispense and fill up our molds. It'll then hit our vibrating line. It'll then level off and take the shape of our mold, and then it'll enter our cooling tunnel. So we have a vertical cooling tunnel. Every 12 seconds, a mold will get pushed into the tunnel. So every 36 seconds, it would rise up, which means on this side it's going down, which means over here, we have 3 molds come out every 36 seconds.
Oh, wow.
We then, once again, do a check, make sure visually they look nice, that it's tempering, and we would put them on these speed racks, and then we'd be ready to flow wrap them. So for us, one of the next steps and the most challenging steps is actually packaging. So we just recently got this part of the factory, so we busted a hole through the wall here.
Oh my goodness.
So this room is still pretty new. So sneak peek, you guys are the first ones to really see this.
Yay!
But we have a flow wrapping machine.
Wow.
And flow wrapping is really challenging because we use a biodegradable film, a cellulose roll of film. And it doesn't like to cooperate as much. But we're very committed to trying to have, paper packaging that'll disappear and cellulose instead of plastic. The bars would then go onto this conveyor and a roll of film would be sealed onto each side. It then goes through a metal detector before then entering our next machine, which is a cartoning machine, which is supposed to do this part of it. We have yet to figure it out. We're having power issues coming into the building. So I'm getting a lesson in electrical engineering. This is the positive way to look at this. And this is where we'd set up for distribution orders and wholesale orders. We're in a number of Whole Foods on the mainland, central markets in Texas, metropolitan markets in Seattle.
Wow, that's cool.
We're in a few hundred stores, which is awesome. Wow. So it's keeping us busy.
Any local retailers here in Hawaii?
Oh yeah, plenty. So you can find us in Whole Foods here as well. All the Foodlands almost. So our field sections mainly. We're in duty-free stores and the other stores at the airport that would focus on those types of products. Hotels like the Lalo. We're in a few Four Seasons. So we have one more room we can check out. It's our chocolate cellar. And then we'll go out and do a tasting.
So it's like a wine cellar, but for chocolate?
Yeah, pretty much. And a lot of bars. So this is the cellar.
Hi.
These all would be how we'd store bars that are flow wrapped. And so you can see what that looks like here. So
And you said this is like a
60-gram bar.
biodegradable.
This is all biodegradable. So
Nice.
as soon as it gets wet or you put it in your trash or in a compost, it's gone. This would be after it's packaged.
I love your guys' packaging too. It's very like.
Thanks. We put a lot of effort into that, and it's evolved a lot over the
Really?
last 10 years. Oh yeah.
It's very
It looks very premium.
yeah, premium. That's the word.
Well, and that's what we realized too, is if people were going to use us as gifts, it had to look like a gift.
So
because
mainly you guys have dark chocolate, milk chocolate, white chocolate, and what are some of your other like popular?
So a lot of them would be what we call inclusions. And so this is a milk chocolate where we added milk powder. This is we call it pa'akai, so Hawaiian sea salt. So we've added salt. Old Poly Road whiskey. There's goat milk.
Wow.
We've got lily koi here. And then you can see we've got the rest of our cellar and flavors here.
Oh, that's amazing. You guys have.
So we got good at building chocolate cellars. Just big foam panels from Lowe's or Home Depot.
It's like
Screwed them to the wall.
It's like a chocolate speakeasy. You know?
Kind of.
Whoa.
Hidden entrances.
You guys said the right thing.
Chocolate speakeasy. That's hilarious.
So yeah, we got banana, mango, lily koi. So you can see we have to hand package all these now.
Oh, this one is vegan too.
Right, so it's a milk chocolate, but it's coconut milk.
Oh, so you have dark milk and vegan milk.
All right, let's go do a tasting. So this is the brewing chocolate. So this still might be too hot, but you can, if you smell it, kind of smells chocolatey.
Oh wow.
Like hot cocoa.
It kind of smells like honey too.
And those things go well with it. I like to put honey in it. But this is the brewing chocolate. This is the tea, and this is the brewing. Now we're drinking the brew, so it's darker. It's more of a coffee substitute. And just like coffee, it's not sweet or milky until you add that. So this is the tea, which is less bitter. It's more of like a loose leaf tea. It's more like maybe a barley tea. We sell a lot of tea.
Get the chocolate? Is it just like chocolate
It's the
powder?
shell. Remember that when we were separating it in the winnowing step?
Yeah.
This is the shell that came off the nib.
Are they both the shell or just
This is a combination of the shell and the nib.
Okay,
a
that
lot
makes
of
sense.
little nibs, and the machine can't distinguish at a certain weight if it's shell or nib. So you end up with a lot of little nibs. So it's basically 100% chocolate. You can eat it.
Refined nibs, basically.
Oh, so this is a really good way to lower waste.
Yep, we have zero waste as much as we can.
Yeah, I love
And of
that.
course, everything comes in boxes and bags, but yeah,
The
as far
actual
as the
like
cacao.
byproduct.
Yeah, all the byproduct. We're gonna try Kealakekua and Mililani first. Both are 70%. Obviously, Big Island and Oahu. Same recipe. Okay, so we're gonna try Kealakekua first.
So this is the Big Island chocolate, right?
Correct.
And 70% dark. Cheers.
So this one is got very little fruity flavor. It's more of a creamy, almost milky, nutty chocolate. Even though there's no milk, there's no nuts in it. That's just what I taste in it.
It's very smooth.
I almost taste an initial flavor of grape. For some
Oh
reason.
yeah? Cool.
It's very interesting.
Now I'm excited for you to try the next one. It's my favorite. This is Mililani.
That one's more like citrusy.
Totally. Now I'm getting berries and banana, and it's just super bright,
Just
but definitely citrusy. Once again, 70%, 70%.
So when you mean percentages, there's more of the pureness of the cacao nib.
Yes, so when it says 70%, what that means is we added 30% sugar. So the percentage always represents the amount of actual cacao that's in that bar. And here, maybe now's a good time, this is cooled off enough.
And this is the brew.
This is the brewing chocolate.
brewing chocolate.
It does taste like coffee, but chocolatey. I don't know
Right,
if that's
and like not as dark.
Ooh, I like this. It's very nutty too.
So now let's go ahead and try the rum. So this is a darker one, this is 75. So,
doesn't smell like rum.
but you're gonna taste it right away.
Oh yeah, it hits you. It almost tastes like almond.
Yeah, like a
Yeah, almost like almond extract. There's almost no bitterness whatsoever, which is crazy for a 75.
I almost really like that.
Yeah, I do.
That one's
that's my
really
favorite one
good.
so far.
Let's go ahead and try we used to call this our breakfast bar. It's got nibs on the top for texture, and then Kona coffee's in there, and then it's a dark milk chocolate.
Should we get some B-roll of the actual chocolate?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Sorry guys, I'm getting too excited.
Enjoying too much.
Yeah, I haven't been showing you guys what it looks like up close.
Oh, that one's really good.
So usually after everyone tastes, that's in the top picks.
These two are really good.
Like an elevated crunch bar.
It has like a
kind of.
sweetness.
That's how I think of it too. Like a really quality crunch bar.
Yeah, sweet and bitter.
So let's go ahead and try our Lily Koi. This has become our most popular chocolate bar.
Lily koi. I'm like trying to imagine what that's gonna taste like.
And you're gonna get this kind of a tart, tangy, citrusy, and it pairs so well with chocolate.
Whoa.
Really taste the lily koi.
So the way this works, you can see there's wine and beer and liquor pairings. So if you ever want to do group tastings with friends, this is the artist who did the packaging, and then the bar inside comes like this. For me, the way I like to open it is I just push on the bottom,
Wow, slide it open.
and then we have it designed so that you break each one off. Here, go ahead and grab a corner, and that's about 5 grams.
I love
No,
that.
I do notice though, a lot of the chocolates, it's really smooth. So as opposed to like when you buy like let's say in the grocery store chocolate, like for example bars, candy stuff, they tend to leave a film in your mouth. What is that film? Because I notice I'm not getting that with.
So partially, it's the ingredients. You don't want a long ingredient list in your chocolate bar. You want to recognize what everything is. As soon as there's things that you're like, what the heck is PGPR?
Yeah.
Then you should probably be like, do I want to eat this?
Yeah.
Because chocolate's pretty simple. We use cacao nibs, cocoa butter, organic cane sugar, organic milk powder, all these things. If you see that, like, okay, you know what it is. That's kind of a rule of thumb for a chocolate bar. This is grinder number 1. This is the first grinder I bought.
Wow.
It's 2 little stone wheels.
You don't ever get rid of your first.
No, I held on to it. You can see we've been smashing nibs up in it for fun to show people. But 2 stone wheels, stone base, you drop the nibs in, it grinds into what we call cocoa liquor. We then add sugar, grinds the sugar up, but it takes 3 or 4 days. The other thing that's kind of fun is we still have that little bicycle up there. That was the original winnowing machine. I hooked up the little bicycle and I'd pedal the bike and it'd spin a cracking device that was made out of a PVC pipe and plywood.
Wow.
And then I had a back massager duct taped to a metal tray. And when I turned on the back massager, it'd vibrate all the beans into the pedal-powered cracker, and they'd break into little pieces, and then a vacuum sucked the shells away.
So you could say that you literally started every
the bottom.
process. Yeah.
And now we're here.
Yeah, my parents' kitchen.
Wow. So you like MacGyvered the whole thing from the day one.
When I needed to, and I know people that I can call that are a lot better at it than I am.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's like building your own house, like from the bottom.
Kind of.
But it's your chocolate business.
Yeah, it's just a chocolate business instead of a house. Let's try hazelnut first, just because I love it.
So you said this is for your subscription, so it's every month?
Every month we make a new bar. So we're doing, we've got pumpkin crunch coming up. So we did candied pecans and almonds sprinkled on a white chocolate pepper pumpkin spice. These are some of the past ones.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we did matcha mochi, we've done peanut butter pretzel, we got peppermint crunch coming up again for December, did a Honolulu cookie. Then there's been some interesting ones. This was camel milk.
Camel?
Yep, with cardamom. Let's go ahead and try goat milk and then we'll finish with whiskey.
We know what goat milk tastes like, but never in a chocolate.
Yeah, so this is gonna taste kind of like a dark chocolate cheesecake.
Whoa.
I mean, it's definitely, you definitely get goat.
It's like feta cheese topped with chocolate.
It's
Kind
definitely more earthy.
It has that
We also
gamey.
did a very dark chocolate. This is almost a 70% chocolate.
The beginning notes are chocolate and then the end notes are like the feta cheese.
Okay, and let's do whiskey. Alcohol bars are tricky to make, but I really like them.
All I taste is the goat milk.
Oh, still? It is a strong flavor.
I'm getting the whiskey though.
It's almost like the rum one.
Yeah, the whiskey comes out strong at the end.
It can actually be safe to pair whiskey with dark chocolate, right? Like
It works. That's a nice combination.
I really like the alcohol ones. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
That's because I like alcohol. But
I'm with you.
it works really well.
Let me go to the back and see if we have any pumpkin crunch. We've just packaged so many of them. It's good. The candied nuts on the top is so good.
Pumpkin crunch is my jam.
Amanda is excited.
Pumpkin crunch is our newest one for next month.
So would you say this is the final product or close? Like you guys?
Oh, this is the final thing.
final thing.
Yeah, so go ahead and break off a corner of that. So you can see candied pecans and then almonds. Oh, and then of course we got some nibs.
And then this is white chocolate, you said?
This is a white chocolate,
Pumpkin.
pumpkin powder.
Oh wow.
Kind of like a pumpkin pie.
Yo,
That's amazing.
it's like a crustless pumpkin pie. The filling with the.
Totally. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Good candy.
I think you gotta take that away.
No, this is for you guys to take.
Oh my god. That's
So you can work on how you ration that out. It's up to you guys.
1 bar each. Let's do it.
I don't think I've ever had like a pumpkin chocolate.
I know. It really came out.
I love the topping with the cacao nib
It
on
makes
there. It does. That
The
like
topping
slight
is-
bitterness. Thank you so much for having us. We had such a
absolutely.
great time.
I had fun with you guys.
Thank you.
was a good
Yes.
tour.
Yes, it was. And I had no idea about like 99% of what goes into making chocolate. So it's very good to know.
Well, thanks again for coming.
And definitely, guys, check out the links below. We'll have everything linked down below so you guys can go on your tour too. Not as exclusive.
And also check out Dylan's channel. If you guys want more to
Yeah.
know more about chocolate for you chocolate connoisseurs out there.
All right, until next time.
yeah.
Aloha.
Guys, that was such an amazing experience, and it's an experience you guys can partake as well. Guys, just come on down.
Well, only the tasting. So just to clarify, you guys, we got the special behind the scene factory tour, but if you guys do want to come down and do a little chocolate tasting like how we were sitting out at the bar, you guys can definitely do that. It's completely free, but do buy some chocolate, you know, support local if you can. But anyway.
You're gonna want to. The chocolates were amazing here.
Yes.
Amazing.
So guys, make sure you guys check them out. They're here, Manoa Chocolate in Kailua town. If you guys want to know more, like always, check the description. But yeah, thank you so much again. Shout out to Dylan at Manoa Chocolate.
And of course the staff at
And of
Manoa
course,
Chocolates
yeah.
here. And we hope you guys had a good time because we sure did. And if you guys want to experience it, come on down.
And like this video and hit that subscribe button. And we'll see you guys on the next video.
All right, Foodie Honor, until the next one, eat your chocolates, eat your pastries, coffee, all that good jazz. Peace out.
Bye guys. Bring your parking coins. What?
Had a little too many drink, too much, but I saw they have.
And guys,
Watch the curb.
Yes. Okay, wait.
Whoop, whoop. I want to be like Yvonne and trip on a little crack on the ground.
Check them out. Where they.
Oh, and also let me know when to apply for that QC position where I can taste the chocolates.
Come on back on Monday.